You know, we
It's
just
definitely
extend
going to
our
be
reach.
till Monday. It's definitely going to be till Monday. That one goes without. I was saying it to somebody this morning. With this has happened time and time and time again. I even gave Sumbo a conspiracy theory this morning. I said when I was at church yesterday, people
Mm.
were saying that that this thing is actually that they intentionally announced the holiday. I was like, hold on a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Said that apparently so that they can have the whatever budget allocation for holiday can be more or something like that.
Huh.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm a conspiracy theorist this morning. And it's people that work in government that told me so. Do with that what you will. Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. But we know that they're going to give us Monday. That one is not a because the Muslims are still fasting till today. So
Yeah.
Miriam says that Eid is actually one day, which is tomorrow. So you find that in other countries of the world, or most countries of the world, it is only celebrated
Mm.
on the day. It's maybe Muslim countries, other countries that do not give them an extra day as per you have
Yeah.
celebrated. They use the example that Easter, Christmas we get 2 days, and I'm like Christmas Day is only the day, Boxing Day is the day after. But the argument is that regardless, is a Christmas holiday. Okay, no, Lily. Then Easter is 2 days. We have Good Friday and we have Easter
The
Monday.
Easter Sunday.
But
Oh,
then
Monday,
Easter
yes,
Sunday
Easter
we don't
Monday.
get, but we don't get a holiday for Easter Sunday because ideally what should happen is we should get Monday and Tuesday since there's Sunday. Anyway, but that's because we know that if a Muslim holiday fell on the weekend, we move it, we carry over. Even if a
Mm.
Christmas holiday fell on the weekend, we carry it over. So yeah. So that's and because we know that in Nigeria, the Muslims and they won't let you not give them their extra one day because today is not a holiday. They are still fasting. The whole point of the Eid is that, oh, we've had our fast. Now it's time to celebrate. So,
Yeah.
and
The
we've
end
had
of it.
3 days before. So today, this will not be the first. I will be surprised if they don't announce Monday
Ah,
as an extra day.
Monday.
The problem is that if they don't announce it, I don't think I'm looking forward to what happens after. Just like
Hmm.
with Muslims dragging, I don't, because they don't play with their holidays. We know Christians, you can even see
Yeah.
bully us a little bit. Can will come and shout, but you see Muslims, they don't play with their holiday. So we shall
All
see how
right,
it
let's
is.
get to see. But this will not be good for a lot of business owners, though.
That's the
Like,
thing, and that's why I
yeah,
said it was a premature
entrepreneurs.
announcement because they
Mm.
hadn't, as at when they announced yesterday, right? As I
Yeah.
yesterday, was it Tuesday? No, Tuesday evening was when they announced. As I when they announced, I already said it was premature because Saudi, who I believe Nigeria follows, right? Hadn't said anything about the moon.
Have not.
So you
Yeah.
start
Have not
you
announced
start
them.
hearing glimpses of it. You know, I told you that I went to go and do my research, so I can talk confidently on this. You start you start hearing about it if they're like, oh, we think we saw, but nobody had seen. Do you understand? Even if because what Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, Saudi was saying that look, even if you see the moon anywhere, go and record your testimony at a court so that they can say,
Mm.
oh, some people had seen the moon. But that Tuesday night, they hadn't seen, and you're only going to see the moon at night. You're not going to see the moon during the day. The moon doesn't come out during the day. Do you
Mm.
understand? So if they hadn't seen any sighting of it by Tuesday nights, then it will, because if they say, because for me, I was like, no. And then as at yesterday afternoon, they were still looking for the moon. They hadn't seen it. So I already knew. I was like, I said it, as soon as I said this is a premature announcement. They shouldn't
Yeah.
have. And apparently he
Well,
did the same thing last year, the Ministry of
last
Interior
year.
as well. So yeah, just wait. And then today, now this morning, as at last night, the Saudi Arabia, they said they hadn't seen the crescent of the moon, but that Eid regardless will now be celebrated tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 30th day. So
Yeah.
the moon comes out on the 29th or on the 30th day. So they said it will like tomorrow is Eid. The Sultan of Sokoto has also come out this morning to say they haven't seen any moon in Nigeria. So
Mm. Yeah.
unfortunately, business owners will suffer. That's the only thing. Unfortunately. But then those that 9 to 5 are like, you know what? I get to have 3 days that is not taken out from my leave. Please
Mm.
let me take. But if you're a business owner, you're owner of business, you know what that means for your business. You're going to lose money. There's some people probably say, okay, we know open today. Some people say let's open on Monday, but it will still be a talk
Mm,
because if you have Muslims in your organization, would you not say the Muslims should come to work on a holiday that's declared for them? So I think that what businesses should do is prepare for these kind of situations. We know that
yeah.
Nigeria, they cuckoo plan that kind of thing. So just prepare your business that Ramadan is coming. It might be 2 days, it might be 3 days. Prepare your mind and figure out what you're going to do. That's what I would say.
Mm, okay. All right. However it is, Sha, at the end of the day, you have rest for yourself. So whether you're a Muslim or you're not, at least you're going to have, the
Mhm.
holidays to rest and to put yourself together and, get anyway. You will still be anticipating another holiday for the Easter. So, I
Mhm.
mean, it's quite good that way. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is the program HerLens, where we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. My name is Rose Yusuf Kater, and of course, you've heard the voice of Olufemi J. I had to drag her here this morning because, I mean, the lady of HerLens, the ladies of HerLens are having their holidays. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Rose is owing me
yeah,
money this money. Rose is owing me big time money.
yeah, I know, I know. By
Mhm.
the way, you look good. What is your countdown to 40 though? Uh uh
Someone said the same thing. She was like,
You're
"Ah, you're
already
looking radiant." I said, "Yes, please." That's
remain
why
the
we
day
now
now.
need
You
us
don't
to
release pictures they give us.
I should take a picture today, actually. You're correct. Thank you for reminding me. I will take a picture this morning.
I saw a picture of you that you jumped. Please, how did you take that? How did you take that snap? How many times did you jump? How high did you jump? The one
Ah,
you took in the office.
I did not jump that high. You. As Rachel is the one that suffered in my hand because it was on Monday.
Ah,
I said, Rachel, I want to jump. I want to jump. I jumped the first. When we said my leg did not even leave the ground, she just said, you have to push yourself. I said, push myself. Like, I don't even care. This month I've carried zero by fitness. I didn't do any fitness this month. I was just so lazy. But I'll
I thought
try.
you were
God
going
will.
to the gym that year. What happened?
This month, I said I was lazy. I was just like, oh, March first, and I should have because now I'd have been snatcher for my birthday. But whoa, 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 whoa,
Mm.
whoa, whoa, whoa. At the end of the day, when we at the end of the day, when we die, we go to heaven. God is not going to say, "Oh, by the way, you are fat, you cannot pass the road." But I will be fit before the end of this year. By the end of this year, I will be fit. If I'm going to the bank, they're not going to they're not going to say,
Mm.
if you weigh less than 60 kg past year, that's not going to happen. And I can still enter bus. My one seat can still enter me. I can enter flight, but my one seat to size me,
Okay.
So my situation is not bad. It's not that bad. It's not
Oh,
bad.
keep giving yourself hope, baby. Keep going.
I'm giving myself hope, oh, my sister. I'm giving myself hope. What the man go do?
All right,
Hope.
so this is Talent. Let's head on to take our very first story this morning. So, for me, if you did, were you flogged in primary school?
Mhm.
Like, can you remember that particular teacher
For
that
school fees,
flogged you so
yeah,
well or
school fees,
punished you a lot
yeah, yeah.
in primary school?
Mhm.
You can still remember that?
Do you know what? I don't remember their faces, to be honest.
Yeah.
I remember being flogged for school fees that my parents didn't buy school. I don't remember my teachers. I don't even remember my classmates from primary school. I don't
Mm,
remember anybody. They might see me and be like, oh, I think you I
mm.
don't remember anybody. I don't know why. I didn't have a good primary. I, I think my experience wasn't great because there was no money. Parents don't have money. So comparing myself to other kids who were coming with, and I had really, really bad self-esteem. So I don't remember anything from
How
primary
about
school.
in secondary school?
Uh-uh. Mrs. Obaz, Pastor Saints, I remember them. Mr. Adeyemi, biology
So
teacher.
they're the ones that flogged you the most.
Mrs. Ajayi, a
Wow.
Greek teacher. I remember all of you. Yeah. Who else
Okay,
besides
so
secondary?
this
Yeah.
particular this guy, having schooled in a school in Ibadan
Mm-hmm.
years ago. All right, so this happened way back in 2016, and this is 2026. That's like 10 years, Abby. So now this guy is coming back to sue the teacher that flogged him back then in 2026 and punished him a whole lot. Well, I would not say a whole lot because it was all of this probably happened in one day. Okay, now according to this guy, from the school WhatsApp, no, not the school WhatsApp, student WhatsApp group, he called his teacher a mumu inside the group. So you know how students will be complaining about teachers and all of that, and then he just goes on to say, "Don't mind our mumu teacher." I think it's biology teacher, if I'm not mistaken. Don't mind our biology teacher. He gave us, so many things to do and all of that. So they were just complaining that you know how students can be. So the thing got to the ears of the teacher himself. Okay. Now that person that even went to tell the teacher, that person, they're supposed to catch that person. Because I don't understand how all of us are in a WhatsApp group are saying something and then you go come out, go the snitch. You go come out, go tell the teacher. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Now the teacher got to find out that so person in a student WhatsApp platform called you so name. And then, he called this guy, according to the story of how this student narrated it. So this guy called he's he called the teacher called this guy and then decided to punish him, in front of other people. So he made him remove his shirt and laid down flat, and he asked I think two students or two other staff to pour water on the guy. So they poured two buckets of water on him, and then he flogged this guy. There he flogged this guy for about 2 hours or thereabout, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like a long period, but for the same day. So he flogged this guy, and then water that you get from washing dishes, the dirt. So he made them to still pour this water on the guy, and then made him to roll on top of the mud, roll on the mud, and he was still, flogging him and all of that. So now this guy got out of it. And then the following day, I think when the guy came back to school, when the guy came back to school, the same teacher called him into the staff room and told him to pull his shirt, and then was now telling other people that, oh, see the marks I gave him, to further kill his self-esteem. And now, as by a guy that time, I think the guy was in SS2, if I'm not mistaken. And as a guy that time, now you go one day impress. So you can't finish all of it. You kill all of it impression. I be how go talk all his teas, you just
All
killed
the
it.
skills.
So now this guy, 10 years later, is coming back to sue that teacher for taking him through that kind of ordeal as far as is concerned. He made him lose his self-respect. That's messed with his mental health, and all of that. So this guy is going back to sue his teacher for this. Now the school itself came out to say, oh, yes, while we acknowledge that he was punished, but it wasn't as much as the guy was explaining. It wasn't as much as the guy was saying. So the school themselves gave their own version of the story, but they said there was nothing like a prolonged flogging. There was nothing like pouring him dirty water, or from the one they get from washing dishes and all. That he only gave him a punishment, flogged him like he would do every other student, and then at the end of the day, he told him to go and wash dishes because that was just part of all the punishment, and that's what the school came to say. But when I went through the comment section, yeah, a lot of people were saying, they started calling out their teachers one after the other, that you are next, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you. And let's not forget that we just saw a video of, the bullying that happens in school, where there was no guardian, there was no teacher, like the students were just on their own. So now, and this is actually happening from teacher to student. Now, it's possible that the school is just trying to cover up, themselves, trying to just mitigate the whole thing. And that's just probably why I'm looking at it from, maybe the school is just trying to cover. Maybe all of this actually happened because now personally, where should I know where they pinch her? Because I don't think if it's for every other punishment, this guy will come back and want to come and take you to court just because you punished him for saying this. It was it would I say it should be, for as far as I'm concerned, it should be much more than that for me to come back after 10 years and still have that memory of what you did to me, to want to take you to court. So it just brings out a lot of things that is going on in our secondary schools and in our primary schools. For me, it was in one of my primary school. I can't forget that teacher knocked me here like this, just above my forehead. Blood came out for me, and she was a female teacher. Blood came out. And then I went back home. I was crying. My dad was like, when you will not do your assignment, why won't she not knock you? Ah, did he off me? We see I started crying all over again. My mom was not the one. Hey, what you should do this one? I will go me this one. Get it, get it. My mom was what? She was not happy about it at all. It took my dad to actually tell her, calm down now. Maybe she didn't mean it because my dad was like, the disciplinarian and all of that. So I can imagine that if me now, I can't even forget that particular incident that happened so many years ago. I'm just imagining what this guy right now is going through to the extent that he went to find a law school against, the proprietor of the school because of what he did to him 10 years ago. So
Mhm.
imagine a lot of us that are going about with this kind of load. Yeah, with this kind of load of what has happened to us in our secondary schools, primary schools, just because maybe we did one thing or the other, and then we're going about with all of this load. So there's just a lot going on, when we look at what is going on. This happened in Ibadan, and we've had different cases. Shebi is here. Me and you have spoken about a lady in school that all her body was swollen. We saw how the legs were swollen. All the marks of the cane were on her back just because probably she did one or two things. All right, for me, how did this come to you? How do you perceive back to go and see your teachers? Because a lot of people in the comment section were like, they started calling out their teachers one after the other. That I'm coming for you next. I'm coming for you next.
My to be honest, my teachers in secondary school, even though like they could have those mean tendencies, I actually liked them. The same teachers I mentioned, I actually liked them because they were really, really good. Their weather was just plenty. And I think our revenge was that we had this just every student has you can talk about your teachers or whoever and be like just because maybe they are mean or something. Like we had for two of them, we thought there was a relationship going on between them, even one of them was married. So in a way we got our own revenge in a way. But I believe this student whole her. I don't believe the account of the school. And why am I saying that? Because why would he lie 10 years after? Why would he lie 10 years after? I think the mistake that a lot of parents make is, which is what was cited here. Number one, like your dad saying, what did you do? Number two is that after this whole situation, the parents of that boy still enrolled his younger brother in the same school. Right, and then they said that the boy has even met the proprietor of the school a few times, and they exchanged pleasantries. I don't think I was like, people don't understand how trauma works. I could see someone that traumatized me and still greet them. There's somebody in my life, or not in my life, that I know that was a very strict person. It was my team lead somewhere, very strict, very strict. Like I had to fight against. He was strict. He was intimidating. He was overbearing. He was plenty things. And I realized that he was having a toll on my self-esteem. Self-esteem that I worked so hard to get back. I was taking. So I was like, but however, if I see him outside, regardless of how I feel about him, I'm on my best behavior. Good afternoon, sir. How are you, sir? That's a trauma response to him. I will greet him and he will be, I'm pleasant enough to like with him. But whenever I see him, I'm transported back to almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago, that he was my team lead. Like, I have to be on my best behavior. Oh. So it's a constant fight. So I believe this student 100%. Why would he come 10 years later to lie? There's no reason for him to lie. Why? And rightfully so, we can see many students coming out to say, this was my experience in primary school, this was my experience in secondary school. Why would they? Even university is not exempt. We have horrible lecturers in the university. I gave this example, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, on HerLens. And I said, I can't remember what topic it was on, the girl that had the sharp beats and her back of her thighs were swollen. And I gave the example of my sister in primary school. I don't think my sister can remember, but I remember very well. My sister came back home and her bum was swollen. So she couldn't sit. My grandma was one that first of all, kilo shetobi. And then by the time she didn't want to say, she was so afraid. She could not sit. I think they had to be using hot water compressors. My mom and her mom, my grandma were the ones. By the time my dad got back, They shout. All I know is that the next day they were in my
They
sister's
went
school.
school.
They went there, and my dad is not a violent person. He's not a violent person. Well, except for when when he used to beat us. But I won't even call that violence. It was something. But my dad is generally not a violent person. They say the way my dad slapped that teacher.
Mm,
Like my dad told the guy that I beat my children. So this is not a case of I'm not saying you can't beat. I beat my
yeah.
children, but if you check my children, it's never gone to the point whereby they cannot sit, they are injured. And that's
Mm,
why I always ask that question, that where do you draw the line, or what's the line with you're disciplining a child out of anger? Because that was anger. Do you
yeah.
understand? So there has to be, I'm not going to say, oh, don't beat children or whatever, but there has to be regulations. I believe, anyway, what I'm saying is, I believe this young man 100%. What he said the school did, they did.
They did.
What he can do in his defense is get his friends who knew about it, they can come and corroborate his story. But even if they don't corroborate his story, they did it. You cannot convince me otherwise. We've seen teachers
Yeah,
do
because
really, really horrible
it's
things.
out of trauma that this guy is
Yes,
coming back
now.
to do this.
Yes, now.
He was
You
not
say, oh,
traumatized. I'm
you were
not sure.
greeting the principal. Okay, and what? I can greet anybody.
Mm,
Good afternoon, sir. It's not to say good afternoon. Good afternoon, good afternoon, ma. That's a
mm.
trauma response. But he comes out 10 years after. No.
He must have gone through a lot.
Yeah, he went
And
through a
it's
lot.
something that maybe anytime he thinks of, it just takes away probably
Yeah.
the joy that he feels at that moment.
Yes.
So I can
Yes.
just imagine what the guy is going through
It's a
for
core
him to come
memory
back.
for him. Like,
Hmm.
you don't know things like that. You know, when you go through something traumatic, it also affects your relationship with people. It
Yeah.
affects how you see things as well. You're very, very suspicious of discipline, or anything, whatever it is that you've gone through personally. Whether in
Mm,
this case of what is this? This is not even discipline. In the case of teacher beating students, or anything you go that is traumatic, you lose a parent, you lose a
mm.
spouse, you lose a child, you lose a sibling. It is traumatic. It changes your life entirely. So I can only imagine, because guys are typically the ones that are like, so for him to come,
Yeah.
girls are the ones, females are the ones
Because
that
now
still
girl now
feel
come
like
back, the feel say, this one, she na
she's
woman, that's
emotional
why.
and a
Yeah.
woman. But this is a guy. And I'm not saying that women are emotional. That's not what we're saying. So please don't hear what we're not saying. I'm saying that what you will typically see is women holding on to things that have happened. For this guy to have come back 10 years after, you may say he don't go university, he's working.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's maybe even successful, because for you to do lawsuits, you have money to do lawsuits,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He did it, and then he filed the lawsuit. I'm with him.
The guy is seeking
Like,
50 million
very
naira
wicked
in
people.
damages for
Yes,
assault, battery,
yes.
emotional distress,
That 15 million I cannot
and
even reach
other
anywhere.
related claims.
Yeah, my thing with compensation when it comes to things like this, because the money cannot really take away the trauma that you have experienced. It cannot.
He can't.
Do you understand? So that's it. Though. I'm with him. I stand with him.
So if you had the chance now, and then there was a teacher that you had to go back to, you will sue you say.
Let me give you an example. My daughter was 3, or was she 2? 3. It was after COVID, and we had changed her school. She used to go to a school near the station I was working at. So after COVID came, I left the office. COVID was just somehow, and then we were looking for a school that is closer to the house, since I was now jobless. so so I found a school near the house, and I liked the school. In fact, the school, when we went initially, they were really, really nice. They did everything, until I think it was the same year. And
Mm,
my brother, I think I was even pregnant. My brother comes and says, so I asked my brother to pick up my daughter from school. And then he says, he had been noticing that whenever he picks up my daughter from school, she's always fearful. I say fearful as that. I say, it's just Zuriel. Zuriel is that maybe she doesn't understand. The second time he went again, I
yeah.
think, but the third time, when he picked her up, he asked her. He said, "What's
Mm,
the problem?" She said, "My teacher beats me." So he got to the house and told me that the teacher beats her. Now, I'd been noticing prior to that time that Zuriel would put on herself. And I didn't
mm,
understand it. She would be on her. What was the matter? And like, did you? And at age 3, she had just clocked 3. You're still trying to form your sentences and things like that.
yeah.
Figure it out. Until I found out that she was always afraid to go. use the toilets in the school because the teacher was always very, very impatient. So her actual class teacher had resigned or said they were sick, but we knew that she was not coming. 1 month, 2 months, she had not come back. So this other person had to be teaching 2 classes, like I think the next class and my daughter's class. So she was very, very impatient and cranky, rightfully so, because children take a lot from you. To realize that she was beating her for going to the toilet. You just went to the toilet. Why? So you not realize that this girl was going to school and she was fearful. So I now started noticing. I remember I said I was pregnant. Unfortunately, I even lost the pregnancy. So that was that one. Everything together. So I went to the school and I raked. I said it's one thing to intimidate an adult, but this child is barely 3. This was January. Yes. Wait, when did I born? 2018. 19, 20, 21, 2021. Yes, she had just turned 3 in January. I'm talking March of 2021. I was livid. I raised up dust. I screamed. I called the head of school. I screamed. I was like, no, because my daughter is very sensitive and she's a words person. That's why I don't bother to do that. Just say, Zora, I'm so unhappy with you. She started crying. Mommy, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it again. So I know how to deal with her. So if you already start doing that to her, the small things I'm doing with my child, you're just going to erode it. She wrote letter to my daughter, wrote letter, apologized to Zuriel, apologized to me. I removed my daughter from the school. I removed her. I was like, I can't, because I'm even going through my own traumatic experience. I cannot be adding my child's own to it. So I remember that Miss Oni. I remember if I see her, I blow her. So that's me. I'm serious. That's me as a parent. This happened in 2021. When the way I said it, like it just happened yesterday. I remember vividly. So yes, I'm with it. Like whoever you need to, because people are frustrated. Let's not lie.
Yes.
Nigeria is hard for a lot of people.
We carry a lot of burdens now.
And we carry a lot of burdens. Maybe you're the only one that is earning your, like there's so much stuff you're going through. Maybe on the day you were going to work, somebody annoyed you on the road. Maybe your husband upset you. Maybe anything. But at the same time, that's why you have been given the responsibility to take care of children. You have a higher responsibility. You can't take it out on them.
Sure.
We remember how our parents used to take out their financial issues on us. We did not like it.
We don't like it.
Is in our adult years. This is the thing now. In our adult years, you can now drag your father and say, Daddy, that thing that you did that time was not good. I knew that you were going through money period, but you don't get my. So that's how many years after? 10, 15 years after. And the way you even say it, don't be saying you just say it. There's a way you say it.
You find a way to say it, just,
How much? So that's why I say I believe it. There's things that happened in my life that my mom had done that I said to my dad, and dad was like, it was not like that. I say, it's me.
It's me, it's happened to
my sister was even telling me, she said the same thing to my dad and said, there was they have people that live with them. And my dad was, being that my parents are pastors, my dad is very, very morning devotion and said, if you don't do, I think we were waking them up at 6 a.m. That's the time they used to wake up. If you don't do your morning devotion, you will not eat. That was happening to us. So my sister was telling my dad that, Daddy, do you know why I hate morning devotion? That I have to force myself to pray in the morning because of this thing that people were doing. Like, don't use morning devotion as punishment. We will start see it as punishment. How old am I? How old is my sister? We're still talking about it. This is like how many years after?
Yes, after.
Does anybody believe this child? I believe him die. I believe him. See, you see that I've cited different examples, family, school. Why won't you believe? I believe him. He did not lie.
So this call is just looking for. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, we need to be careful how we deal with people. You don't expect to hurt somebody or to do something to somebody that you believe, he's just a child. I'm correcting the person.
Yeah.
And then you just think that, life goes on.
Yeah.
Goes on for you. But for that person, it might just be stagnant.
That's it.
Because they can't move outside that. They can't move outside what you have where you have placed them. And that in itself is dangerous. Because at the end of the day the person now, frees his or herself from that spot and moves forward. And any other thing that makes the person remember that spot that you have placed him. If you see you, let it be your generational children that the person sees, that thing will still come back.
Yep.
Because we've had people that will say, you are the daughter of so person. I remember what your father did to me. See what your father did. See what your father did to me. See what your great grandmother did to me. See what your great.
You will come they collect cost of something we no concern
We
you.
don't concern you. So I mean, we need to do better. I know that at the end of the day, yeah, there are different ways to punish person. We
Yeah.
do you bad and all of that, but you don't do it to the extent of hurting somebody's mental health.
Yeah.
Causing some kind of mental trauma or emotional
Yeah.
trauma to the person. It could just be a lot. Anyway, this is your Women Radio Double FM 91.7. It's 20 minutes to 10 right here. And this is the program HerLens, so we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Women Radio. Please do want to be a part of the conversation. Dial 07000 or 081 09155 917 917. Send us WhatsApp messages to 070 317 56537 or 08155 917 917. We'd definitely love to hear from you as regards this young man. Let me not say young man, Sha, but this man that came back 10 years after to go sue his teacher who flogged him and made him go through some sort of emotional distress when he was in secondary school. So apparently this teacher flogged him, or according to him, stripped his shirt, subjected him to prolonged flogging with cane and similar implements, and had dirty water poured on him, and was made to roll in that dirty water and all of that. So this man is going back 10 years after taking this teacher to court, and filing a suit against him, seeking 50 million naira in damages for assaults, battery, emotional distress, and other related claims. So I mean, it's a lot. That torture was nothing to. I'm reading this, and I'm just remembering some of the incident that happened in my own secondary school.
Mhm.
Because this particular man, although that one he no bad rich like this, but that one he go beat you or he go give you punishment. Even you yourself, you will agree to that punishment because you know that you have done what is what
What has passed to
what
what you
warrants that
exactly?
punishment. You know that you don't do
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
but the way he will do it to you, it will be bad though.
Your
But at
life
the
will
end of
be
it, even you
yeah.
yourself, you will tell yourself, say, now because now me cause am, that's why.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so that one day. So I just, let's all be careful because let's not even forget that the times that we're in now, a lot of people are emotionally fragile compared to
Mhm.
maybe our mothers, our fathers, and that's why
Mhm.
we can't take a lot of the things that they are taking. Yeah,
Mhm.
we can't do as much as.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, the pick and one. Praise the Lord.
Wow.
This is Oboli. Good morning.
I'm always commending and condemning, so let me comment this morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning, Mrs. Abali.
How nice.
We're good. We're good.
So fine.
I wish you happy holiday because you guys are essential workers. For people like me,
Can we hear her?
let me chime in on this discourse.
Okay, please go ahead.
10 years. You know, that guy needs healing, therapy.
Mm.
For him to have waited, you cannot be your mate, too. I'm telling you. And seeing that teacher, there's this thing we call, it sends cold shivers down my spine. Looking at that teacher, looking at that person that has caused you this pain, even after you've gone to the east, west, north, and south, and you're trying to pursue your cause because you feel you are able to do so now that you are man enough. You know what the person has gone through. That guy also needs therapy, I tell you, because the traumatic experience, you never can tell what it might have destroyed when you life. So you see people coming out now, they say, if now our parents come there, say you figure too. Because you're asking that question, that because you have to be Hey, is something that you never get out of easily. It tends to cripple you, it tends to hold you bound. And then until you get a legal suit to address it, you're still asking yourself, why me? Saying they should not be children these days. Do you know that it is anomalies like this that stems from this generated out of students that has made the school system to tell people that this beat. I know these days we are not raising kind of kids we used to raise in times past because of this beating syndrome that has been removed. But if you're angry, is it possible? Let me even ask this question. Is it possible you don't beat when you are angry? Is it possible?
Mm.
You can say, I don't want to beat because if I beat you, I will break your bone. It's possible. Let's just remove it. It's possible. Because when you leave again and beat a child when you are angry, oh my God,
Mm.
you go beat am beyond repair. You even ask yourself questions, say, did I really inflict this injury upon you? And so where is the balancing? When a child does something and you want to beat when you are angry and you are able to beat and curb your emotions. You're angry, there's no rules bad. You're just beating and anyhow. But I don't know if it's possible for us to just maybe teacher, guardian, guide, whatever, do not easy. I'm trying to you. And now the students realize that you don't allow teachers to beat and so they form in school. But issues like this is what formed to that decision that no more beating in schools. This does not get other issues, but if that's the case, honestly, no be couple of punishment. But make you use clean picking now. You are training the child. You don't need to just go overboard because I beat my children, but if the teacher goes overboard, honestly, I'll address the situation with everything inside of me. I will. And so I just pray that there's a balancing because when we're using these days now, I don't believe in the sparing the rod and spoiling the child. I don't spare the rod where necessary. But if you must beat with your conscience now, with your emotional intelligence, don't just go all out and beat because the child, you don't forget that the young shall go. Now, there's this Yoruba proverb that says, oh, never take with that. Simply means that if a child and reaches the hand of the sword of vengeance, he will ask that, who killed my father so that I can go and revenge. So right now, the guy in question used to be a boy. Now he's a man. He's seeking redress. And so if this guy gets redress, you see every other person pop up and, so this is just telling us that we should realize that tomorrow is pregnant. You don't know where to give birth to. Whatever you do it with a good conscience. The young will surely grow. Children are the leaders of tomorrow. And everyone who has been wrongly try to seek redress. And this is what is standing or playing out right now.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli, for calling and mentioning a whole lot. Because at the end of the day, you should do it with emotional intelligence. Now, tell me that this teacher now, that this mathematics teachers of then, 10 years ago, did he use any sort of emotional intelligence when dealing with this guy? No, it's just out of the anger that, oh, a student is calling me a mumu, and that is all. And then you just pick it up, and now that the guy has brought 50 million naira to your doorstep, do you even have the money to follow the protocol? Do you even have what it takes to pay this money? You yourself, if they shake you and your whole family, pay 30 million naira will come out. Apart from that, all the lawyers that you would have to pay in court. Oh God. So let's be emotionally what's the word right now? Intelligent. Let's while trying to sort out this kind of things or when trying to solve this kind of issues. I mean, there are so many other ways that he could have punished this boy for doing so. And moreover, that was a WhatsApp platform of students.
Hello?
So
Oh, we have it
hello,
all.
good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Watch me, where you calling from? Are you there? Hmm. All right. So please do want to call us back. I think we just have about 5 minutes to go this morning before we call it a day. All right. So let's just try as much as possible to be emotionally intelligent because, like Miss Oboli said, now trauma, and they make the guy come back. To say, hold on to all of this, or this is not happening. It would have just been, going on his life jejely. But it's just trauma, and he himself probably needs to see a therapist. Now, the teacher himself that did this, if another person do like that to a young pikin, uncle, he go take her because that's just it. So when the good books, the Bible says that do unto others what you want others to do unto you. You know what they talk.
Mm-hmm.
You kuku know what they talk.
Yeah.
So what you cannot take, don't give it out. Don't give it out because see where we don't call land now with this particular teacher. You think say something happened 10 years ago, you didn't live your life, you they go. Person don't follow you, come back. To come
10
tell you,
years
say,
after.
make you come redress her. Notice I don't forget, come back, come redress her. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens when we don't keep our emotions in check, when we don't at the end of the day, there were students. And if you look at it very well, now waiting most when we cannot say every now waiting most senior secondary school students see just the gist, just the talk they go. So yeah, I just hope that we could actually find peace and know what to do because a lot of us are going on with some of these keeping quiet and moving on. So but now when person can't touch you small, when you come boss finish your come say, but now small something I just talk now. Why you did? Meanwhile, they don't
Why
say you
you
don't
did
carry the worker
exactly?
Anyway, so we'll just leave it at that. Our time is fast spent, but let's see if we can touch this. For me, did you see the video of that nursery section in a community in
I
Abia
did.
State?
Yeah.
Ah,
I can't blame them now. Now, waiting they get, to be honest. Unfortunately, I saw in the comment that said, oh, that the governor is working, his eyes cannot be everywhere. I say, I don't understand. Why do they have local government chairman? To be ideal, what they should do is shut down the school. But if they shut down the school, where would the children go? Where would the teachers go as well? I don't know, it's a vicious cycle. I saw it, it made me so sad. So sad.
honestly, that's the word. I was just so sad about it. That's just the word. Looking at what, children who are not even up to three, probably 3 years and below,
Then
maybe
those,
the
you know
highest
what
that
is sad? What's sadder is that those children, they're gonna come out and compete with children who got proper education. That is what is even sadder. There's no level playing ground for anybody anymore. Government officials had to send their children to government schools. We know how government schools were. We know how reputable they were, how furnished, how the teachers were. But as soon as they had an out to be sending their schools abroad, so let's even cancel
a
out the
lot
ones who
of
send their
them
children abroad.
and a lot of the leaders we have now,
Wicked.
a lot of them benefited from
Yes, no.
public schools
Yes,
that
no.
were feeding them, public
Yes,
schools
no.
that were giving them transport money,
Yes, no.
like, oh, you're going on holiday, take this money,
Yes,
carry
no.
and transport yourself, and then this
Yes.
remaining one carry and come back. And they will even see change to even live for their parents at home.
Wicked
They will
people.
come, give them milk, give them kidney, like uniforms were free.
Just wicked people. All of them.
And then you now you have gotten to that leadership position and you don't see a reason why you should maintain what was there when you were there or even make it better.
If you check now, that school, they never touched them since maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Because that thing is not 5 years ago that was seen.
No, this is a dilapidated school. Anyway, this one even tries to even get roof. You get somewhere with the
Yeah,
ceiling even get roof.
exactly.
No, we need to do better because these are nursery school, children. I please, if you have seen that video, I'm sure you understand what we're saying. So this is a nursery section of Umuakwa. I hope I got it right. Umuakwa Community School in Isiokwato. My Igbo people will laugh at me today.
They will. Better you than me.
Isiokwato in Abia State. The video is trending. I'm sure that when you get to see it, if you're from this community, it will pain you. It will really pain you. If you not paying you, let's say your heart don't you don't strong.
Yeah.
Your heart don't strong. You know, for more hard to get, but it go pain you when you see this kind of things happening in 2026 in Nigeria. Now, local government chairman, what are you doing? Ward councillors, what are you doing? State government, how far? Ministry of Education in that school, what are you doing? Kilo day, what is really going on? Where the money they go? We understand that the governor's eyes cannot be any, but that's why he has aides. That's why he has special assistants. That's why he has local government chairman, ward councillors. That's why he has all of them. What they call traditional rulers, uncle. And traditional rulers now, if there are some government that are buying cars and sharing for traditional rulers, there are some governors that are buying lands or doing one thing or the other to traditional rulers. So when they do all these things to you, are you pointing their direction to all of these things? I mean, just collecting it and sitting down. Anyway, our time don't go. We'll just leave on this before we enter another story. All right, so that's it on HerLens today. My name is Rose, and I've got Fumi with me all through. Fumi, thank you for coming on HerLens. We'll do this
It's a
tomorrow.
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow, God willing. So do what to stay with us right here on Women Radio as you enjoy your holiday. And for all our Muslim brothers and sisters, we will not close work or we day work. So if you bring the ramp, okay, this is not the one that you use ramp for.
No, this is the
This is
one.
small. This is a small
Next.
aid.
Yeah.
The bigger aid is for the RAM. So any which one, any protein where you kill, shall just shall, extend it to us.
Show
I
us
say,
love.
oh,
Show us love.
my people in women radio. All right, then you all have a great celebrations ahead and stay with us right here at Women Radio WFM 91.7. Good morning.